Today I'm going to share with you my foolproof framework to work with a VA. So what to give, when to give it, and how to give it. Stick with me, kids, we'll get you liberated in no time. Hello, it's Emma Mills here and welcome to this week's episode 223 of MiTV. If you've been thinking about the what, the when, the how of working with a virtual assistant, then I've got the framework for you that is going to make this experience as liberating as possible, because I am aware that it can feel a bit painful to bring somebody into your team, to delegate, to train them up. And what we want is something that's going to make it as easy as possible. We've just had a long bank holiday in the UK, and if you're anything like me, I love to take slots of time in these holidays when you're not getting Teams messages or Slacks or WhatsApps or phone calls. Take myself away and plan, dream, and think about the things that I need to do next. And a lot of the time, delegation comes back into it, because for me, delegation is a basic principle of growing as a business, avoiding overwhelm, and making business owners happier. If you never ever delegate anything, I can't imagine that you will find a very happy business owner. So stick with me in this episode, because I'm going to walk you through just the 3 steps of my framework of how to make using a virtual assistant a really pleasurable experience and get them impactful as quick as possible with you. So the first part of the framework is the what. What are you going to delegate? And I've got 2 key areas for you to focus on to make this as easy as possible and to give you a bucket of tasks that we can start to work with and delegate. So number 1, grab a piece of paper, grab your notebook, put a line down the middle. At the top, just write "don't enjoy," and down the left-hand side, you're going to write all the tasks that you don't enjoy or are terrible at. Just get them all out. And it might not be that a VA is the right person to do all of those tasks, but definitely just document them all down. So everything you don't enjoy. So that might be getting involved in the financial admin. It might be following up your leads. It might be you hate being in your inbox all day. Just get everything down that you hate. And step number 2 of this, and while it might feel lower value, though I hate that word, because most things that have to happen in a business don't have to be done by the business owner, but that doesn't mean that they're low value. Point number 2 is to write down all of the repeatable, rhythmic tasks that happen in every day, every week, every month. Every business has its own rhythm. So the things that you are involved in, as an example, if this helps, a client of ours who started a couple of months ago came to us because he was specifically doing 3 very rhythmic tasks which were very important to his business. They were updating clients on delivery dates. They were ringing the client after a delivery to find out whether they were happy, and it was booking in delivery dates as well. And he was doing, and it was updating them on their orders, sorry. He was doing these tasks, and the 3 of them are very process driven, but he's the CEO of the business and he'd picked up these tasks recently because of some streamlining and things that had happened. So they are quite rhythmic, repeatable tasks that have got a rhythm to them. He started with those tasks, and his support from us has grown into many other things, but the rhythm and the repeatability of a task is really, really helpful to get started with outsourced support. So down the second column in the what, if we write down all the things that you are doing daily, weekly, monthly that have a rhythm to it, and if you would like some inspo, I've got a download that shows some of the rhythm of our business in different sections that I have done in the past. I don't anymore, but things that we have delegated now to other members of our team, to other outsourced members of our team. So in the what, you're going to write down all the things you don't like and enjoy, and number 2, you're going to write down all the repeatable things. And why the repeatable is so important is because even though they might seem like small 1-minute tasks, checks, updates, and you might think it's quicker to do it myself, these small things that add up, whether it's like registering for a conference, whether it's updating a client, whether it's creating a report, the compound effect of adding up all the tiny repeatable stuff can have a massive impact just on your headspace and also on freeing up your day. So repeatable tasks, the little tiny stuff, Really important to get on this list as well. So the second part of the framework is about the when. So if we've got our list of tasks, the stuff we hate, there's all the repeatable stuff that happens in the business. It's like when and in what order, and does it matter? Does it matter how and when I give these to my assistant? And absolutely, the when of the offloading the tasks bit by bit can be the make or break of a really successful relationship with a virtual assistant. So point number one under the when is that there has to be a plan. Just like if you had an employee sat next to you at your desk, you wouldn't just give them every single task they're ever going to do for you and ask them to get on with it. You wouldn't just like throw all this jelly at them or mud and hope what sticks on the wall. There would be, I would hope, a systematic way to bringing them on board, and a virtual assistant is no different. And similarly, every great virtual assistant or virtual assistant company will make that plan and guide you on the way to, bit by bit, piece by piece, get that liberation and get those tasks off your list. And our way at MiPA in the second part of the framework of the when is that there is an element of the virtual assistant getting to know and understand your business, and there is a big element of the person who is delegating to get confident and comfortable and create a good relationship with the person they're going to be working with. And for that reason, we always recommend that anything in the task list that is repeatable, is process driven, has a clear what good looks like behind it, that would be our number one to take that off our client straight away, because the repeatable stuff gives your assistant a really good framework and grounding. It gives them exposure to the business. It starts to get them as part of your team. It gets them into your way of working. The relationship starts to build. You start to get confidence that things are happening well. So and most often, a lot of clients come to us with a list of 12, 15, 20 things, and it is incredibly difficult to pick all those things up extremely well at the beginning. So we would section them up into the repeatable, tiny tasks, the repeatable stuff, the things that have rhythm to it. Because one of the most successful ways to onboard a team member, an employee, is to give them rhythm in their weeks. Like everybody then has a feeling of they know at least the baseline of what needs to get done. Assistants who have lots of sporadic, ad hoc, unusual stuff, it can be more difficult to create that relationship. So when we get a list of tasks, we will always take out of it the repeatable, process-driven tasks to start with, get them bedded in, get a really good framework. And then when we've got this framework, we then can put inside it the things that you don't like and you hate and you don't enjoy. And the third part of getting started with your assistant and having the most amazing relationship is the how. And the how is getting the list that we've created with the tasks you don't enjoy and the repeatable tasks. It's then with your assistant picking out 2 or 3 of those that are impactful or that are easy to hand over, or maybe a combination of the both. And step 3 is the sharing of how we want to get that done, which can throw a lot of business owners, and this is how we always recommend that you do it. Especially if you don't have processes in your business, and this is how we do it with every single client and how you can do it with your assistant. When we've got our first 2 or 3 tasks which are repeatable, process driven, have some rhythm to them. So for us, a successful kickoff relationship with any task is to have a recorded video call whereby our client can screen share and go through these initial 2 to 3 tasks, which make the process of understanding it so much easier. We have the asset recorded, we then pull out of it a very specific process on how to do task 1, 2, and 3, or at least even if it gets us 50% of the way there, that is the first way, that is the how of handing over a task to any really good virtual assistant. And any really good virtual assistant can also pull out of your head. And as I always say to our clients, we ask lots of questions to make sure we get the right process of how to do that task. Because I totally appreciate you are really busy. You have not written 123 processes for all the things you do in your business, but you do know how to do them. So capturing them on that Zoom call, having it recorded, having questions asked of you, and us pulling out the information creates it into a really great process and gives us the first 2 or 3 tasks to get started, to get supporting you on, get you confident and building the relationship and get us into the rhythm of your business. While I know that getting help can feel really painful and difficult and can make a dent in the budget, I can honestly say from my own experience over the past 15 years that creating a team around me, both outsourced and employed, that I can rely on, the dent in the budget that has made has been far outweighed by my ability to earn more money, to grow the revenue, to have a nicer and better life, because not everything relies on you. So our 3-step framework of the what, the when, and the how, I hope is really helpful. And download my example of the rhythmic tasks that we have delegated over the past 10 years, because it might give you some inspiration on how to get started with an assistant of your very own. I hope this helps you get your head out of the dirt into the leveraged outsourced clouds, and I'll see you next week.